thinking you know more than those who came before you, by thinking that you know everything you need to know. That's what we see today. Wouldn't it be great if the president sat behind this desk? If he said, I'm going to try something completely different. I'm going to invite you as the American people into the Oval Office, and I'm going to talk to you once a week for 43 consecutive weeks. And every time, I'm going to talk about one president, one man, one president, one problem for 5 minutes. Just a little message about each former president, saying each time, this president, Jefferson or Grant or Arthur or Truman, whatever. He led the nation for X number of years. This is the problem that he was trying to solve. These are the things that he tried to do. This is where he succeeded. This is where he failed. And this, most importantly, the president would say, this is what I learned from his time in office. So I thank him, and so must you, for his service to the nation, because we've learned something together. That's it. 5 minutes. That's it. A simple acknowledgement that nobody, not even the president, is above history. No matter how you stand, you are not greater than those who came before you. Here's my hope. That if the current president or any president would just stop for a second, that maybe he would take the time and learn from history. If he would just stop and think about what history has taught him, he might realize that Americans are much better than he thinks, are stronger than he thinks, more independent, more industrious, more capable of great things. We'll figure it out together. We'll take care of each other. He doesn't need a magic wand. He doesn't need to give a speech. He doesn't need to sign a law. Americans are quite capable of solving problems. That's what we do best. Quite honestly, the president should sit at this desk and say, look, I know you are much better than your leaders. If he would just learn and recognize that Americans should and can be trusted. We'll make mistakes, but we'll correct them. Americans, if they're trusted and encouraged, Americans will restore this nation. They will rebuild it. They will use the original blueprints. They're around here someplace. They must be. Maybe, I don't know where they keep them. Maybe in the basement. Use the original documents. And maybe, just maybe, if we had a president sitting at this desk who appreciated that history would be his best advisor, he would begin to recognize that history is alive. It doesn't belong in the Smithsonian. It belongs to you. History is to be celebrated, honored. Let me close with one story, because this one story will tell you why history matters. This desk, right here, it's called the Resolute desk. You would know that if you were sitting in the office and you saw this plaque. But anybody who knows history knows that that plaque is no longer there. This plaque was changed and it was reversed. This plaque tells the story of the desk. But this plaque now, because Jimmy Carter had it changed, it now sits on this side where the president sits. They moved it. This plaque sat there since we got it. See, this desk was a gift from the British. It came from a ship called the HMS Resolute. The Resolute was a ship in search of the explorer Sir John Franklin in 1852. And on that search, deep in the Arctic seas, the ship had to be abandoned by its crew. It was stuck in the ice. It was a very valuable ship to the British. Well, 3 years later, an American whaler, George Henry, found it. He broke it free from the ice and he towed it into an American port. Well, America had a choice. What are we going to do with this ship? So we decided to restore it. And we outfitted it. And we sailed her back to Great Britain and gave it to the British Crown as a gift, a friendship. The ship spent 3 decades in service after that, and then she was finally retired. And when she was retired, Queen Victoria was the queen. She had an idea. She ordered that the best craftsmen would take that ship and use the wood from that ship to make 2 desks, one that the Queen would keep in Buckingham Palace, and one that would sit in the office of the best friend, the United States. The president that got this gift was Rutherford B. Hayes. It's been in the White House for many, many years. It sat in the White House. It was used in the press room for the fireside chats. But it was Jackie Kennedy that really actually thought this should be in the Oval Office. She brought it up into the Oval Office. She's the one that made it popular. You know it from the door in the front where John came out. That's the famous picture of the Resolute desk. And then after John F. Kennedy was killed, it sat in the Smithsonian until Jimmy Carter. And Jimmy Carter decided to bring it back, and he changed a few things on it. And it's been there ever since. See, maybe it's easy to read history and think, well, that's just stuff and dead people. All the people are dead. Queen Victoria, whatever. But if you think of that one story and you're bored by it, well, then maybe I told it improperly. You can't be bored by history. If you're like me, you love stories like that because it tells you something. It tells you about a friendship and a national honor. It tells you in one story why America and Great Britain share a special friendship, a friendship both nations have fought and died to preserve. From that one story, you learn what it means to sustain a friendship over decades. That one story tells us oh, so very much. It tells us why this bust of Winston Churchill should not have been boxed up. Because this was the next gift from our good friend, Great Britain. And this president boxed it up and sent it back. The same as if he would have boxed this desk up and sent it back. You see, this might have helped if this president knew and respected history. It might have helped when he was thinking, gee, what could I get the Queen as a gift, or the Prime Minister of England? In his first year of office, this president, maybe instead of an iPod and some DVDs of his greatest speech, I'm not kidding you, that's what he gave her, he might have been standing here at this desk, and he might have looked at this desk and thought, we could do better. We should do better. And for once in his presidency, he might have lowered his head just a bit and looked down and seen history and avoided a mistake just by knowing history, just by acknowledging that he's not the first guy that ever came into this room and sat in this chair. That's how history is. That's why I love history. It's like an instruction manual for the world, an instruction manual for the president, an instruction manual on America. I mean, you can be president and not read the instruction manual. Sure, you can do that. But you know how it is with instruction manuals, whether it's a TV or a mobile phone or a country. I mean, if you don't read the manual, you're not going to know how the darn thing works. You won't get to use all of the features. It won't happen. And in the end, it's going to break. And you won't know how to fix it because you never read the manual. You don't even know where it is anymore. So even if our president won't study our history, you should. Because one day, you might be president. But I guarantee, even if you're not president, one day you're going to have to fix this mess. And it'd be good if all of us have read the manual first. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you, and may God bless the Republic. From Dallas, Texas, good night, America.